at work, so it's in Roosevelt, Utah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they put us up in apartments up here, so
Nice.
yeah,
Where's
not too
Roosevelt?
bad. Do you know where Vernal is?
Sounds familiar-ish. I only know where
Yeah,
Og.
so like Ogden. Oh, it's way far away from Ogden. But oh shoot, what's that fun place that they do like the ski jumps and everything on the backside of Salt Lake City? Do you know what that town's called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so you keep going that way. Instead of taking 80, there's only one other option you can take. If you
Mhm.
just continue on down that, you'll end up hitting Vernal
Okay, cool.
or where I'm at. So
Nice.
yeah, not too bad. It's a lot closer to Price, Utah
Okay.
than anything else. So yeah.
Nice.
Shoot, man, how you feeling? Sore?
Dude, I've never been so fucked up in my arm wrestling career. This is this is rough. This is the first day where I'm pretty confident it's not an injury because it feels like a little.
Yeah.
The last
Before
2 days,
you're
I'm like,
questioning
how
it.
badly did I fuck up my arm? But like, yeah, picking anything up, even touching shit, it's just I've never had the elbow pain, and I keep watching the Jody hits again, and I'm like, that's what happened.
Dude.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it was I think it's obviously the guys were bigger, so like the hits hurt more, but just having a tournament with one arm and you just keep going up and
Oh,
you're doing the one arm, like I've
it's rough.
it's a completely different kind of sore.
And then the after pulls too. We didn't stop.
Yeah, because my left arm hurt too, and I was like, I didn't even think I pulled that hard on the left. But there was a couple guys there that were giving their all in the after pull, so I got
Yeah.
my left arm hurt too.
Well, it's because they had
No,
the
those after pulls were
opportunity
different, dude. Those after pulls weren't practice pulls, man. Those
Yeah,
guys were like, well, I lost in the tournament, so I'm here to F people up.
yeah. And
I don't care what arm it is.
people who didn't get to pull with each other were like seeing how they all stacked up. I think so.
Oh, exactly.
It was a lot. It
Exactly.
was a lot.
It was it was a lot. I mean, you got to think out of the 64 guys, you pull. I mean, say you win everything, you're only pulling 9 guys, right? You're missing a shit ton of other dudes that you have a chance to pull. So, I mean, everybody was excited on after pulls, but
Yeah.
like me, I pulled the day before, I pulled the day of, I pulled up until 9 o'clock that night. And then I showed up for practice the next day.
Oh
And
yeah,
that was stupid, dude.
that was my plan. But then I woke up in the morning and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, nope. And then it's
Yeah.
funny because I went hiking that next day with my wife and I fell because we went on a fucking hiking trail that had just snow and ice everywhere. And there was
Oh,
two
dude.
rocks and I was walking down and I just caught myself on the two rocks and I had to sit down for like 5 minutes just rocking because like both of
Just
my
ow.
elbows just like caught and I was like, oh,
Yep.
I like my elbow, my biceps felt like they were about to jump off the bone.
Dude.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
I
like
don't mean to
at
laugh,
work, I'm
but
picking up a 50-pound hose today at work, dude, and I was crying. I was like, what in the world?
you
I'm
guys
done.
are pussies.
I was waiting for
Yeah.
Jesus.
that. I was
Just
waiting
just
for you to jump
Yeah.
in.
whining, you crybaby Sallies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah. All right.
Hey,
Well,
it's getting better though, because like I remember, pulling 3 dudes, before I'd lose out of a tournament, and like I would still cry about my elbows the next day or even a whole week.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next day, I was like, shit, I'm gonna go to practice. Like I got this. And halfway through practice, I was like, yeah, I'm really starting to feel it right now.
It's a
Me and
slow
Stray
burn.
like leaning over our cars, dude. So I don't you want to call anyone a pussy, it's both of us.
hey, I'll wear the title. That's fair. I didn't have to fight as hard as you guys, but I would say this in the after pull, I got the opportunity to pull a couple of the guys that you did, that both of you got to pull, and they went as hard as they possibly could. So and it was
Yeah.
more like, let me see if we could move this tree trunk or whatever. So
Yeah.
it was fun. It was a blast, man. It was awesome to watch you guys. Like that was badass. So real quick, we're gonna say it this way. This is the aftermath of the 64 Man Air Super Series. I've got both Taylor Palmer, Vince Gordon. We got the hand and the
Oh,
Terminator.
double flex. I don't even think I can flex right now. Oh,
So super excited. I see the tears. You're fighting right now.
yeah. They're holding back right now. Oh.
Well, I
Yeah,
was gonna
That's awesome.
kick it off by asking, what are you guys gonna do to recover after such an extensive tournament? But it sounds like nothing. You guys immediately went to practice. You immediately went on a hike. So there is no quit in these dogs.
Yeah.
So let that be a
Guess what I did yesterday?
What's that?
Guess what I did yesterday?
What did you do yesterday?
I went to the Utah practice.
Wait. Like
You're
look,
crazy, man. You're
that's
crazy.
not. I know the Utah practice.
Oh,
Yeah.
shots fired.
It was
Shots
blood flow
fired.
work. It was blood flow.
Okay, you got some blood flow work. All right, cool. Then.
Ouch. I hope this podcast doesn't become popular, or else we're making enemies.
You know, this podcast is growing, man. We've got people who want to be on board already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I even threw that in the chat. Was anybody who wants to join up, they're more than welcome to.
Yep.
So, yeah, we don't.
That'd be cool.
So, what was your favorite
Dude,
part?
it was amusing watching you at the after pull though, because as soon as you come through the door, everyone like clears the table. They're like, "Oh, you gotta pull that guy." And it was funny, dude. Like seeing some of the guys that, you know, because I know how me and you match up, right? And I think I know how to pull you. So like my expectation, I'm like, dude, you need to pull that guy. And then that guy's like purple face pulling you, and you're just sitting there with a smile, like, yeah, go ahead and go whenever you're ready. I was just like, I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I think that was I think my favorite of that whole thing was pulling Isaac Russell. It really
Yeah.
was. It was watching him try and figure it out and still not.
I don't think he's ever gripped up with a hand that big, you know.
He
I mean,
pulled
Wallace
yeah.
probably, but he said that he can actually move Wallace. So I don't know what it was about you that just confused him,
Yeah.
but it was definitely a puzzle for him.
I was trying to pull him, and we didn't connect. I told him I wanted to practice pull with him left, and then he had to go. I think it's his wife with his kid, but he had to go and do something with that.
Oh yeah.
He wound up coming back
Yeah.
after that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did
so
end up coming back.
I never got the chance to pull him, but he looked solid at that tournament. So
Definitely strong.
Yeah.
yeah,
I pulled him the day before the tournament, and he felt stronger than normal.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
I talked to Nathan Johnson a little bit. We were messaging on Messenger afterwards, and yeah, I think that would be a good match to run back, just because Nathan seemed like he had him, and then Isaac dropped into that weird Kings move where he just, and I thought they were going to ask him to stand up. They let him go down for a while, and so
that wasn't
neutral.
Yeah.
When you're in the neutral, so what he does, he waits. When he hits and he can bring you back to center, then at center he drops down and he gets in this.
But even then, Nathan was able to get his arm like out here.
Yeah.
But if it never goes past center, so even if his arm is extended, if it doesn't go past center, they won't make him.
But it was vice versa. His arm wasn't extended, but he was on the losing side.
And they made him stand up.
No,
they didn't make him stand up.
Yeah,
he stayed down there.
There's two ways to look at it. The easiest way is an open top roll, which is what I do, that they call a King's move, is you can stretch all the way out across the table, right? At the moment that your shoulder drops below the plane, that's when they would consider it a King's move. So for him, he's staying safe. When he gets it back to center, he'll drop down and he tries to like this weird swinging carve, kind of like what Tracy was trying to do with you when you were.
Now, okay, so I felt both of them do it before.
Yeah.
I can handle Isaac when he does it, and I can side pressure through it. When Tracy did it to me, holy cow, that was, I mean, I'm honestly impressed.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, as we were gripping up, as soon as I grabbed his hand, I knew he was uncomfortable, so I didn't move. And every time he was regripping, but if we were to open our hands, it was like that for him. So he had that pronation on me. Gotcha. And as soon as we went to a rest grip, he couldn't do it. Right. And that's where I was able to pull him over. I was like, oh my God, that was a huge difference. But but I wanted you to pull him and see what that felt like, because that's, I mean, I've heard people on podcasts talk about how it's quite amazing how he can be open and just put so much pronation and side pressure into it. I mean, it was impressive. I'll give it to him.
Nope, I do. We'll grip up at some point. I'm sure we will. Because even talking with Isaac asked the same thing. You said the same thing. Like, did you pull Tracy? I'm like, no, he took off. I invited him, times, but I think we pronate the same way. Like,
100%
through the thumb, so it's a little bit different than through the knuckle, through the upper knuckle, and the hand.
It literally felt exactly like you. Oh. Like the amount of force that you put over is what it felt like. I was like, that's very impressive.
So who are you wanting to run it back with there, Mr. Vinny?
Well, I will say it was fun to do a 242 tournament. And I think it's because I didn't feel like like even my two losses, I felt confident that I could, if I ran that back a certain amount of times, I could find something. And I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of expecting myself to be the times that I lost, I figured I was going to meet some person that was just going to blow me away. And I felt like I felt like I had something against these bigger guys, and it's so much more gratifying to pull a big guy and like to have something there. So I don't know. Like I feel like there's this whole kind of spectrum of pullers that I didn't really think I had a chance in pulling, and now they're kind of on the table. And
Right.
so like, I would even do like doing a super match with Jody Williams again, which would be super fun. I don't know. Frank Callahan, we pulled a little bit afterwards. I think I would give him some trouble in a ready go. Um, no, there's even the guy that beat me. I don't remember what his name is. It's like there's a silent D at it's like Zanin or something. Dzanin or something. He's the one that I lost to that would have put me into the lower 16. I could even see, like that I'd like to run that one back too, just because I feel like I respected him a little bit too much when I was going into it, and also my arm was fucked from Jody. But I think if I would have like fought for the right side of the table and did a couple things different, I would have had more of a fight for him. So I was surprised at how accessible some of those guys are. Oh, and all you have to do is eat for like 3 months, and you can get up there and you can give those guys some trouble. So I had a ton of fun in the whole tournament. I thought it was like a blast, and yeah, I don't know. I got some definitely some guys like on that level that I'd like to pursue instead of just kind of running down and trying to fight other 198 guys.
That's awesome because you were at a 30-pound difference deficit, right?
Yeah, so I was like 217 with all my clothes on. So I was sitting like 212 when I was weighing myself sort of in my without clothes at home. So yeah, I was pretty, I was lighter, but again, like I think with some more work, like a lot of those guys are accessible.
Yeah, you guys did you phenomenal. They were great fights. I think I lost my voice midday Sunday just from all the yelling I was doing Saturday.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the venue?
Oh, sucked.
Damn.
I hated it. I hated the venue. I mean, the stage is cool and like the videos turned out really sick, and obviously the production was there. But man, there's just too many people, and like there should be a rule where you can't bring anyone, I guess, if we're gonna do all the 64 mans there.
Right.
Like no family, no kids, no spectators. Because it's just like, I don't know, my back was hurting. I was standing in one location by the buck hunter and trying to look over 8 dudes' shoulders while people would just walk in front and try to see. So I mean, it's a cool venue. It's just there's too many people there to do it.
Not for that style of format. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
really, I guess it would be ideal for running super matches. So if he had set up, say, 5 guys, so a total of 10 dudes for a super match, that would be a really dope spot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting because I was talking with the owners and Corey a little bit about it. Like, they were going to talk to Corey about it. I was talking to the owners about it, but they own the tequila or Wicked Tequila across the way, which is where the afterpool was.
Yeah.
So that whole parking lot is also theirs. And then the parking lot east of the property is also theirs, which is attached, so you wouldn't have to go far. So I think during the summer events where we can have spectators and actually host like big tournaments, because I think that the bigger the guys, the bigger the audience.
Yeah.
I think the only one that's really going to outshadow the 242 is going to be the super heavyweights, and then probably the 198 class.
Probably 198.
Because there's just so many guys, so many little dudes. So, what about you, Taylor? What was your biggest takeaway there?
My biggest takeaway
Yeah,
from the venue?
yeah, from the venue, the event, your
Dude, for me, the venue was actually great, dude. I sat outside. I literally had all the room to stretch, and then I had the perfect view of both tables. I didn't have to look over anybody. Honestly, man, like I watched it from from everyone, like trying to tiptoe over each other and shoulder bump, and I was having a great time. I didn't struggle at all.
I think I needed to get
I
there.
just wanted to rub that in.
Yeah, well, that hurts, to be honest. It hurts.
Where's
But
the
yeah,
invite, Dick?
I guess I thought the doors were gonna open at like 1. So I get there and everybody's already all in there camped out. So I should probably just
Yeah.
get there earlier, get a good spot, because even that middle, like that long skinny table would have been a nice one to sit at, because that would have
Yeah.
a good view. I guess the issue I had is like there's great seating, great spectating for like the people who are seated in that VIP section, the guys that are seated linearly all the way back, but then everybody else has to deal with those 2 columns that is right in the
Yeah.
middle, and so you can see one or you can see the other, and then there's just a bunch of crowded people right at like the bullpen area where you're walking up. So I always like, I'm a huge fan of any bar or group of owners who are doing this for arm wrestling, because I think that's awesome. And it seems like they went out of their way to give 15% discounts at the restaurant close by. Everything was geared towards the tournament. Yeah, you had the bartenders going up on the bar and shooting off
Oh
confetti.
yeah,
So
shooting the
like you
confetti.
can't ask for a better like staff involvement and like community involvement like we saw there. It's just there's a lot of people, and so how do you weigh those two things? But it was
There was quite a bit, man. It's I mean, you almost need more seating. But like some of those chairs weren't taken up because no one wanted to pay for like the VIP seating or anything like that. So maybe next time just leave it open. And then I know that a lot of people didn't pay that $5 fee. And if he's worried about, making up some extra cash, I mean, make sure there's a line before people just start walking through the door. Shoot, I showed up at noon trying to get there early, and almost everybody was there already. I was like, holy cow. But they had just opened up the garage and we saw some seating outside and went and took up on it, and shoot, no one else went out there. So it was awesome.
I kept going back and forth there. We actually get discounts there as double backbone pullers. So if we go there to eat,
oh yeah,
because I paid $100 to the door, paid him $50 twice to cover people who didn't pay.
nice.
So that's
Oh,
for
nice.
backbone pullers. Like that's so if you go in there and you're like, hey, I'm part of the team, we'll get a discount. I think it's 10% is what he's going to offer us, but we'll get 10% off food and drink between all three. So there's
That's awesome.
a deal there, their restaurant there, Cactus, which is across from Wicked, and then Wicked. So those are the three that they run. So we'll get those discounts just going forward. And then we also live streamed Devil's Backbone Pullers, live streamed the event
Yeah.
on their TVs for all the people who couldn't see. Because like what Vince is saying, this, everybody being blocked and you have those columns in the way and everybody moving around. So it's kind of cool that they were like, oh, so you're live streaming? I'm like, yeah. So they immediately went to their YouTube, pulled up our channel, and then put Devil's Backbone Pullers up there, and we were live streaming at the same event. So it's pretty cool. It was nice to be involved in that regard, and then to have 4 guys out there representing DVP and you guys finishing in the top 16. Like that was pretty badass. So my next question will be, and we'll go with Vinny first. Did you take away any new techniques from the guys that you pulled? Like you're pulling at a weight deficit, which you've already made clear that doesn't matter. So when you're pulling stylistically, have you added anything to your arsenal, or have you adjusted anything going, oh, I don't need to do that anymore?
I think I'm doubling down that my advantage is my hand. Not that that was any mystery before. That's where the name comes from. I think I'm really interested in getting is just adding to that. So like, if I like hook pulling, it's fun. And if I go into it's kind of sort of like the Devin strategy, where if you're pulling in a hook, you're losing. So, train to win, but then obviously have that strength there on the back end if you need it. But I think, the reason I could get over, like there was I should have pulled up the bracket, but the first guy I pulled, he sort of looks like a bowling ball. He's like a big dude, no neck, bald head. But he's every bit of 242, and I could just get above him, and my fingers were longer, and I could just kind of like use that flat palmed top roll to go over. And I just want to get really good at that. I just want to get my pronation up a couple levels, and I think that that's what's going to help me, pull against these bigger guys, is just making an unbreakable top roll where I don't have to get too much cup, but I'm just kind of going through the thumb, going up and over, and using that torque in my forearm to just kind of get all the way through. A lot of side. I've always been a side pressure guy too, so I always want to put as much side pressure in there as possible. And so yeah, I think that's where like my training is going to focus on. And then yeah, I just want to be able to get like these, I don't know, good matches that come from these tournaments. And like Nathan Johnson, Isaac Russell, those are all guys I want to like have super matches with and win. And so I think I'm going to do that through my hand and getting more of like a arm wrestling specific training program set up, like we talked about the last time we had the podcast. Because just hearing like what Taylor's done the last 8 weeks with his more specific training, and I think I just need to tie that all together and just get more reps in, get more pulling in tournament format. But yeah, I'm hopeful for it.
Heck yeah. What about same question either, Mr. Palmer?
Yeah, I don't know if I would say I learned a new technique per se, but like going into this, as far as tournaments go, it was my sixth tournament, so it's pretty low on my experience wise as far as tournament pulling. And besides my fifth tournament, was the first time where I did decent off of ready goes and stuff like that, but I still had a lot to work on, you know, um, as far as like setups and not letting people take advantage of me, or even just going up there and actually being able to think, like as someone's doing something in my hand, I would let them do whatever, because like all I'm worried about is not moving and just getting ready to fire off, but I went up this time. I mean, I was calm, clear-minded. I could think pretty well. And my last tournament was probably what, June? I think it was June last year. And during that whole time, before I moved, I pulled you guys a lot, and then I bought a truck, a semi, and I started going over the road, and I started going to, Paul Lynn's practices, stuff like that. And when I started doing that, I realized that this huge gap we have in our mind is really like this. It's not that far off. And, the compliments that Paulin would tell me, or me being able to stop him, in the table, I was like, holy cow, like, I just need to work on these few things. So being in a truck, I could never really work out, or, I wouldn't say couldn't, but it was hard for me. And then I got a new job, and luckily it gave me 2 months to train and prep for this tournament coming up. And so for the first time ever, I just stayed dedicated. I wrote out a program on the two major things that I usually lose at in a tournament, which for me, I need to be stronger cupping, because if I miss the go, if my hand opens up, I always lose. And then the second thing is to keep my pronation on my hits. So I just focused on those as my primary. And then my secondary, I always train hook, just kind of like how Vince was topping that off. But then during all that training, I realized that I have a hook, and I started implementing it in some practices and stuff. And so coming into this tournament, I was like, man, what do I do? Should I just go for my hook or whatever? And I get up there, and I would grab someone's hand, and I could feel where they were going for the first time ever. And I would just kind of adjust off of that. So for the most part, like my first match with Frank, I knew that he has kind of a press that he can get into. And I saw his high shoulder, and I was worried that's probably what he was going to do. So right off go, all I did was just cup really hard, and he went upwards like that. So we got stuck in the hook, and then I just drove sideways. And then the rest of the time, I was like, okay, I got the first one out of the way. Now I'm going to hit hard for my top roll. And usually in the past, my hits were sideways. And now I worked on hitting backwards and actually gaining position first. So I did that, had a couple drawn out matches, because I think I need to probably work on my finishing, the last like 4 or 5 inches off the pad, I need to get a little stronger on. But and then coming up to my last match was Nathan Johnson, and my hand was blown up, and I remember sitting there, and I pulled back into his fingers, and they didn't budge, and I was like, oh man, I was like, well, now more than ever, I should probably bust out the hook. And then everyone's telling me, like, don't hook Nathan. I was like, that's all I got. So I'm just going to go for it. And I was like, man, I'm just going to hit him as hard as I can, center of the table. And then I'm just expecting a grind out. I made the face and everything. Like, I'm just going to put it all on the line. And when I hit, next thing I know, his hand was like right below, like above the pad. And I was like, oh. So I just pushed down. I was like, well, there we go. But so I was pretty happy with that, like at least proving to myself that in a tournament form I can do that as well if I need to. So because I mean it's complete different muscle group as my primary move. So I felt fresh doing that. And
I'm kicking
so it's nice to have both of those.
kicking myself in the butt for that one when we talked beforehand. You're like, that nice shoulder roll. And I'm like, don't add anything new. Just stick to what you know. I don't want to see you get hurt. And then I watch you do that to Nate Johnson at the end there. I'm like, where the hell was that? You told you had a shoulder roll. I was like, oh, damn. Well, so you covered in the techniques that you were discussing, you covered my next question, which is preparation. So you went through and you went through this whole process of preparation. Did you find, Vinny, did you find yourself doing any kind of preparation there? Were you like going through how you would play it out? Did you do anything different other than add as much weight as possible for your prep?
Yeah, I didn't really. I was just eating. Eating was my preps. I was just
Welcome,
trying to
welcome to the Fat Man world. It's the best. Enjoy.
Yeah, so I was literally just trying to put on, and I was, as I said, I was doing a lot of just gym lifts because I'm just bulking generally for like my benching, my overhead pressing, and just like doing a lot of back stuff too. So yeah, I don't know. Again, I think my biggest regret was not having as much of like a arm wrestling progressive overload lift program up to that tournament. But I knew like I was still pulling a lot, so I was just trying to get a lot of table time and then use sort of the weight gain along with the table time to get me to a good spot for the tournament. And I think again, I think I was in good shape, and I felt like I did as good as I was hoping to do in the tournament. But I do think that would, as I mentioned, like closing the holes in the game, trying to get a little bit more buttoned up with the pronation and just holding everything center. Because even when I look back on the Jody matches, like when he hits, I opened and I was able to catch, and I was able to use my pronation to sort of like play the catcher at the bottom of the pin there. But ideally, I want to be able to, even if someone's hitting, I want to be able to hold center, keep everything at that right angle right here, instead of having that adjustment where I got to hit open and then come back. So that was really, I mean, I had never been hit like that. Never been hit like that in a tournament before. So that was really cool to be able to do that. Know that I can catch it, but also know that like where I want to be is, even if I do come off center a little bit, have everything stay in that 90-degree angle instead of having that open. Because if you look on anyway, 3 fouls was way too many fouls. That was crazy that he
Agreed.
that hurt.
Especially when
Like
both people are using up the fouls, man. I was like, oh, I'm
and like
getting worn out.
he used every single one of his fouls to hit me and then have his elbow go off. But if you look at the second one, like my hand was maybe half a centimeter above the pin pad, and the down rough was about to stop. Like he was getting ready to stop it and call it a win for Jody. And final, like his elbow barely went off. So, if you run that one back 9 times, I don't know. It's a toss up. So I want to be a little bit just more together, because even when I pulled Taylor, it seems like you've just gotten everything sucked into here, where it's like nothing really comes off of that. And that's where I want to get to. I just want to get to that solidness right here. So center over here doesn't matter. I'm able to play defense and offense and get out of anything because I have that connection. And obviously Jody's got a strong hit. So I can't do a whole lot about that when he's throwing everything into it. But that's where I'd like to kind of go towards in my training, and getting everything just more tightened up. Have that coiled sort of arm position no matter what goes on.
Hey, you were taking his hand too. That's the only spot he had you was his side pressure.
Yeah,
and that was awesome. So
yeah.
that gap to close right there is very small, very small.
I keep watching that one. It's just like a little bit.
Yeah, it makes you hungry though. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and the hand saved me because I was able to kind of turn it and just like avoid that a little bit. But yeah, and then he went for the press on the last hit. And I was like, thank God, because that felt a lot different than the other hits that he had, and I was able to catch him center and then go into a press, which is more dynamic than I'm used to being. Like this tournament and the Utah tournament, I was actually able to get in some like wars where I had to think. Usually in a tournament, I'm either losing or I'm winning, and it lasts a half second. So these last two
Exactly.
tournaments have been really fun because I've actually been able to get in fights and then think my way out of it and actually transition, which is that's the fun part of arm wrestling. And so I feel like I've been robbed of that a little bit, even though I've done a lot of tournaments. I've never been able to get in these wars because it's either I'm that much better than the guy or I'm that much worse than the guy. So now I feel like I'm getting to this level where no one can really blast through me. And so I can at
Yep.
least get some kind of purchase with anyone. And then that opens up this whole, hand chess game that is what the whole sport is about that I like to dive into. So
And you just answered it, the hand chess. But I think that's why, like I was saying, like my past 5 tournaments I ever went to, it's either I win because I got a perfect jump or something and I just stayed in my lane. But as soon as I go sideways and someone stopped me, I mean, I'm leaving my arm behind, like I'm definitely losing if it stops.
yeah.
And now where me and you are both seeing it is like as soon as it stops, we're starting to counter on it and like apply different pressures and you're right, dude. Now it's getting fun, like I walked away from that with the biggest smile on my face, dude. I was like, man, that was a fun tournament. That was awesome.
And I had that same problem even and it seems like you've been a quicker study on this than I was, but like I used to get so nervous in the setup and everything that I would just throw my whole body to the side. And then, yeah, it's either the arms coming with me or it's this. There's nothing I hate more than like committing my entire body and just having someone go,
Yeah.
like
Trust me, I've done it a lot. I've done it a lot. And
it's a
Stray's
bad way
been
to
there
do
to
it.
smack me upside the head, be like, what the hell, dude?
And it really is like if you have any chance of winning, you should just stay there and try to get the hand. Don't try to throw your body. Hitting is one thing, but try to keep everything in the same line because and that's what I've always the past 6 tournaments I've been like, dude, just stop trying to win in 1 second. Take one moment to just get the hand and then see what you can do. And even if that gives up one pull out of 10 where if I would have thrown everything into it, I would have maybe been in a better position. It's worth it just to be able to feel where you're at and actually be able to do something with that instead of just having this game where you're going or you're not.
Yeah. And I still think I tried to rush a couple matches where I should have took a little bit more time and actually climbed because I had the strength to hold certain people like Bishop. Bishop wasn't a threat for me sideways. Like when I was sitting here holding, I could probably hold that a long time. I didn't feel him. But every time I had surged, I mean, he had a super sticky point. But I was so close, I was just like, man, next time I'm going to bust through it. Next time. And every time I come back up, I'm like, I can't. I'm losing more and more feeling. And then when I'm getting ready to do it, he's like, oh, restart. I'm like, man.
And that's
So it
smart
made it
arm
really long. But if I would have just, climbed up, take my time, get that height, slowly pull it, and then slam down, I really do think it would have finished a lot quicker than doing 10 hits. But
I did like that match. I mean, it was a fun match to see. You're doing the Kevin thing where you're just like, rah, rah.
Dude.
And I was like, he's gonna get tired. There's no way he can keep this up.
I was getting so tired. And every time they called a foul, I was getting so mad.
Yeah.
That last time, dude, all I could do was just catch his hit first, and then I just
your forearm was like this.
Yeah.
Dude, it was. It was. I was like, oh.
Had to roll it out. I think the one thing that I hear you both saying is that the biggest thing you're taking from this tournament is confidence in your ability. So you're not saying it, but like everything you're leading to is that you're more confident in the ability to pull, how to pull when you get stuck in a sticky situation, is being cognizant of where you're at in like being aware in that particular position and then fighting out of it. I think it's huge. So it's obviously done more for you guys' confidence in like Vince's willingness to now go to more tournaments and actually have some super matches. And then as well as you, where you immediately show up and want to start going again, like perfect the imperfected. That's awesome. What are your guys' plans coming forward? I know that I have my super match coming up and everybody was kind of talking about it. I think I saw Vince is not going now. in the
Yeah,
poll.
unfortunately, I can't swing it. We're doing like a rebranding thing at work right at that week. So I was
Quit.
trying to make it work, and I was gonna see if I could just say fuck it and go anyway. But yeah, it's not a great time for me, which sucks because that would have been a fun one, it sounds like, and just being there to support you would have been fun too. So
Yeah, my heart's broke.
yeah, I know your heart's broken. I know you really wanted me to be there, but I will be there with you in spirit.
Well, quit, just quit. Uh, the wife will understand that arm wrestling is now your full-time job.
Hey, we're almost there. We're almost there. I made $100, dude, in 4 hours of work. That's not bad.
No, it's not.
What is that? $25 an hour?
Your math is on point.
Yeah. Not that bad.
And you got a free workout and injuries to boot, and a nice shirt.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
So
Now to pay the bills, I just need to be able to do that every day, all day long.
4 or 5 times a day to make it work.
Maybe I'm not ready to be a full-time arm wrestler. Not yet.
That's awesome.
Close.
I'm close. I'm knocking on Devin's window.
All right. Well, what other topics do we want to go over here? Because it sounds well. All right. Actually, who's the strongest guy that you pulled there? And like, I know that you got to pull. Taylor got to pull Troy Brown, who won. And I'm a little irritated. And I did send him a message on TikTok of his closeout of the expectation of people being stronger. I was like, wow, bro, like that was rough. But
now, before Vince answers, I do want to make a comment on that dude.
Yeah.
So the guy that I had that long match with, they were seated together in the first round, and he actually got a stop on him for not too long, but he got a stop on him, and then he like slipped underneath. And I'm like, well, shit, dude, that's as far as I was hitting him too before he stopped my arm. I was like, so the gap can't be that big. But in that moment, man, when I must have missed go maybe a little bit to where I couldn't feel him, but I mean, he timed it perfect where, I mean, it was just, straight. I didn't feel nothing. I was like, holy cow.
Did he no load?
Yeah, there was no load.
He didn't load?
No.
Okay. I would say that's more than likely what it is.
It was a no load, but as I would pull back into his hand, it didn't budge. Like it wouldn't move. But like he was literally like floating on the back of my hand. And then if I were to pry into it, nothing. But as soon as like his first move, it's kind of like a downwards cup. So it block your wrist right here. So as you're coming backwards, it literally just goes right over that, and then he just goes straight sideways. He keeps kind of a flat sideways movement after that, but it just shuts down any top roller for sure.
Textbook arm wrestling right there.
Yeah, we held hands, but that's as far as it went, and we both held each other's hand the exact same way. So I thought,
yeah.
All right, cool.
I mean, kudos to him.
Yeah,
kudos to that guy.
Arkansas.
What Vince? What'd you say your strongest guy was?
Well, I lost to Lewis. That's another one I'd like to have back.
Hovarth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I gave him a little bit too much respect, and I think that's because he does the whole scream.
Yeah, oh yeah. Does the rooster and then he's loud on the table too.
When I saw in the bracket that I had him next, I was like, fuck. My face screamed at. But anyway, I actually, I caught him at the end. And you know how it is, like when you think you're not as strong as the other guy, you just give them too much play.
You're just kind of playing defense. You're not trying to hit. You're just trying to catch.
Yeah. And so I wish I wouldn't have done that as much. But he's strong. He's definitely strong. He's got a solid hand. I do think I could get a win on him if the circumstances were different. And I wish I would have done some things differently in that. But I would say he was probably the strongest one that I pulled. I think he was a little stronger than the guy that ended up beating me later on. I was just fucking torn open at that point. So it didn't take too much to kind of get me. I usually have a sticking spot, and for some reason I just kind of went down.
It just blew right through it.
The last guy. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really get to. I was fortunate because I know there's a ton of strong guys in that tournament. And with the bye on the first round, and then also just getting a couple good matches from there. I don't think I had to hit, the strongest guys in the tournament. So that was good. So yeah.
Who was supposed to be your first guy, your first lineup?
So his name was Ben like Ciappini or something, but he was a bald guy.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty grateful I didn't have him in the first round because he was
He looked big. He looked big. He did good.
And apparently he gives Eric Wolf a lot of trouble. And so
Okay.
yeah, I think he's similar strength level. I forget who he got beat by. It was someone who I was a little surprised at, but he's a strong dude. So I was supposed to go against him first round. So who knows what would have happened in that situation. But yeah, Jody's a strong guy too. And it was just fun. It was just fun to be able to, get 3 good matches with Jody and be in it. And so that was super fun. And I know he's a guy that a lot of people know. And so that's what it's about is getting wins on guys that everybody knows. And then you can go from there. So that's
exactly.
I didn't ever really know where he was at strength wise. And so, I think he would give me trouble any day of the week. It just happened to go my way on this one.
Well, it's cool, dude. He's known like in the Europeans and like Rebecca Todd was in the chat for him. Like she was in the, just to cheer him on. So I don't know, maybe one day if you were to run it back, dude, just do it at the Monster Factory. Yeah. That'd be cool.
That
would be cool. I mean, you should have that in with Troy Brown, being that he's a frequent of their events and gives Michael Todd a hard time, and he's in the 64 man. I have my opinions, and they're not for the podcast.
Oh yeah, yeah,
like,
yep. No, exactly. We've talked about it. Rance Clayton was, he was in that thing as well, but seeing him with Frank Callahan in the after pulls, like he may be just that much stronger than the rest of the group. But that Troy Brown guy, he's that much stronger than the rest of the group. Like he didn't struggle once, not even a little bit. Corey was expecting to have some burners. Like you could hear him on the announcer. He's like, "Oh, hey, here comes a burner," and he's like, he was like,
sorry, Corey.
I think that guy's a little bit better than you were anticipating. So
just a smidge.
But I mean, Taylor,
just a little bit.
You did so well. I mean, I think obviously we were all hoping for the Taylor W. But
I was hoping
realistically, I mean, yeah, there's some guys in that tournament that probably shouldn't have been there. But anyway, I thought you did really fucking well. And I mean, had it have happened differently, had you have met other guys, who knows how close to that number 1 spot you would have gotten. Probably, Troy was that's a wall you got to climb there. But if you wouldn't have met him when you did, who else in that tournament do you think would have given you a tough time?
I was watching, and I appreciate the kind words too. That Andy Stafford guy.
Was he the real fast one?
No, so that was Jared Gagnabine.
Okay.
And I think so. Okay, yeah, speed sucks. Speed does suck. But when I pulled him, I literally I tried to take a drink of water out of a plastic cup, dude, and I couldn't hold my water, and my name got called. I was like, oh shit. So then I ran up there and put my hand up, and he just knocked it over. And he even asked me afterwards. He's like, dude, are you dead or what? Because I didn't even feel you. I was like, yeah, I got nothing. He's like, damn. But I would like to feel him and see, how that could go differently. And honestly, I'd probably shoot inside with him because of how fast, the way he does his cut too, it would be perfect to try to stop him inside. Because, sometimes trying to shoot outside on that, you might miss it. And then that, the same thing, we're opening up your bicep.
And
but
that's where
I
his
would
speed
say
comes from, is from the outside.
Yeah. Bobby Miller was a pretty good one, but I think I still would like to feel him too. I didn't get to pull him. But the Andy Stafford guy, man, he the reason he took 4th was only because Troy Brown. Like he lined up with him in the bracket as well with Troy Brown and knocked him down. And then I forgot who else beat him after that, but no, he's got a really, really strong arm that doesn't open up.
Bobby
and
Miller,
I know
Bobby
that
Miller beat Stafford. That's Bobby Miller took 3rd. Bobby beat
Stafford. Yeah. Which I need to I haven't watched the tournament over again. I need to do that. But I think just for my style, Andy Stafford would be a problem. I don't know, but I do like if I were to run back with somebody, I wanna feel that Jared guy, Gagnabine. And he's another one, dude. He probably could have finished a lot higher too, depending on different people that he lined up with. Very, very fast, and he was efficient in his move.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
Yeah, I think everybody in that like top 8, who knows where it all would have lined up if
Yeah.
kind of fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean that Jared guy, like he went against Isaac and like Isaac caught him on the outside and it didn't seem like he had that much static strength to hold Isaac. And then the next one, it was just, boop, and like all
Yeah.
he just
He
like
changed
he
his
went
lane,
inside
or
and
maybe
just
he
went,
got a little bit better start or something. But
yeah. And
I've done that to Isaac. We were doing Ready Goes at his house December, and I was able to flash him. And that's why when I watched that and I saw Isaac stop him, and then the rego he flashed him, I was like, I should be in it, like with that guy. But who knows, man? I mean, who really knows? Different. I mean, I still pull a little bit different than Isaac does. Isaac's got a longer arm than me too, can apply different pressures in different spots. But
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. But
I thought it was
so
really impressive that you could get in. You met Nathan Johnson in a hook, and his hook is crazy. And like even when he was 198 pounds and I met him in Wyoming, the fact like his fingers don't look like much, but they don't.
They're strong.
Open. He can suck anyone who tries to top roll him into a hook, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
You can dangle your hand out there, you can deny all these things, and all
And
this
he'll
stuff.
still
Like,
cup it in.
why am I in a hook right now? So I was messaging him a little bit after the tournament, and we were talking about because we have like opposite styles. Like I'm hand dominant on the outside, and he's just able to kind of pull everybody in. So we were talking it'd be fun to meet up at some point when we're not like he gained crazy amount of weight. He said that
He got huge. He was big.
Because Wyoming wasn't even that long ago. He was 198. He was like 234. And he just said that he's been eating like crazy and just put as much weight as possible.
He did the Vince method, bro.
Well, like twice as much as I did. I was very impressed with his ability to gain that much weight. But I would like when we both return to sort of our home weight, that would be a really fun match to do because I feel like I fucked up in Wyoming and I let him get some stuff that he shouldn't get, but he got me both arms, and they were fun matches. But Nathan Johnson is one that like it's cool that we both kind of went up and tried to do this, and now when we're back down at a reasonable weight, that'll be another fun thing. But I don't know about you, Taylor, but this like I'm not going to ever fear another 198 pound person. Like now that I went up and did this, like it was a good mental switch.
It was a big boost.
Yeah, because I'll lose the weight and I'll get back down there, but it's like I'm not going to ever fear anyone who's heavier. For some reason I had that sort of that mental mindset where I'm like, oh, if this guy's 10 pounds heavier than me, then he's going to win no matter what. And just given too much respect and stuff. And now with this whole experience, it's like I'm excited to head back down to 198 and see like what damage I can do to any 198er. And I'm not ever going to give anyone like the benefit of the doubt in a grip up with someone who's that weight, because I know even when I'm 40 pounds higher, I can hold my own.
And I would think you not even getting stronger going down to that weight, bringing that confidence that we just gained out of this is going to be tenfold. Like it's going to be a big difference. And I agree. I'm going to do the same thing because, I mean, I usually sit at the 215 mark and getting down to 198. I could do that in a water cut, but I don't know. I'll probably stay around. Unless I get an invite to the 198s, I'll probably just stay around the 220 mark. But I still got lots of room to get stronger.
If you're gonna, are you 220 mark and you're gonna drop down to 198? Because
during that
I don't want to see you guys there.
Yeah, no, during that 8 weeks, man, I felt like I was just starting to gain traction on my strength that I was starting to build. Because like, it was like in the beginning, you're getting through like newbie pains and stuff because I never trained before. And then like there towards the end, dude, I was just like, my jumps were like 10 pounds in a week, and I was like, holy cow. And I had to stop. And I was like, 2 weeks out, I better just try to go lighter weight. And I didn't go lighter weight. I just kind of did more static hold stuff. And then on the last week I did bands and I practiced on Tuesday. And then I pulled Friday as well. before the tournament. So I don't know, but I felt great, and I still have a lot more room to go. So cutting weight, I think, would be the wrong thing to do for me. I'm just gonna, I'm holding on to extra fat right now, but 215, 200 pounds lean, I'm still holding on to all the muscle that I have already. So, but speaking of, so Wyoming, that one is July 13th.
Yep.
And how many months away is that right now? So we still got,
It'll be here
we
quick,
just
though.
got into March, huh?
5 months. 4 months.
So both of you, I would say probably try to line that up with Corey, dude, and try to maybe do a super match with Nathan there at the weight 198.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that would be sick.
He's got to lose some weight though if he wants to get down to 198 by then.
Dude, he's got 5 months to do it, man. He's good.
Yeah, and he seems like he's good at doing the weight fluctuations. And so, yeah, I was surprised to see him so big, but that would be a great one to do it because I think he's a South Dakota guy. So I'm pretty sure that's pretty close. So yeah, that would be
South Dakota or North Dakota. He's one of the Dakotas.
One of the Dakotas.
Pretty sure it's North Dakota though.
Yeah.
Which you could also do Luke's, which is in August.
Okay.
So there's you have Wyoming State, then you have South Dakota State, then you have Colorado State.
Yeah, South Dakota is always a fun tournament. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and you were asking what we were going to do in the future, and I'm for sure going to do Wyoming and Colorado.
Mhm.
I already looked at the schedule. Colorado, I actually have what do I have? I think I have the 7th and 8th off.
Okay.
I believe so. I only have to take one day off for that one because the way my schedule is, dude, I get 4 weekends off in a year.
Damn.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, but at least that one lands on it. I'll have to take time off for Wyoming, but I mean, if I can swing it, and we'll see where things are just in life in general. But Arizona would be really cool. That one's in June.
100%.
That would be a fun one to try. I've never been to the Arizona one.
Tim puts on a good show. You went to the last one, or Vinny went to the last one.
I've been to the last 3.
Yep.
3? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, and you did awesome, man. That when you caught Artem off surprise, man, he was sleeping on you, and you with the left hand, you just drug him over.
Yeah,
dude, he was. Oh man, that was funny because then the next time you guys lined up, you could tell the difference in him, dude. He was like, "Oh hell no, not sleeping on this guy."
He was like, "Oh, I got this." Yeah, he and he even did like a voiceover to like some of his tournament
okay
matches, and he was like, he said something like, "Yeah, I gave this guy way too much slack the first time, so this time I just handed it right down." But that's one that like all these big names come to, and it seems to get better every year. It's more of a like all the Latvians were there last time.
Dude,
Coach Ray, who's the bigger Latvian?
Sanders.
Sanders was there, and so that was really cool. And who's the other guy that just went to East versus West that looks like Superman?
Andrei Sharkovich.
No, the American guy who trains with in Utah. He tucks in his shirt. He's always wearing slacks. Oh man, he's got the glasses. He gets all fired up. He's got the big hand.
Uh-oh.
No, you're thinking of
you said out of Utah though?
No, you're thinking out of North Carolina. You're thinking of
North Carolina.
Oh, Wierzynski.
Wierzynski.
He's in Carolina?
He's a South Carolina.
Carolina Carnage.
That makes sense now. Yeah, he was there. So yeah, that's another fucking level of strength there. But it's always a fun tournament. It was 118 degrees in Phoenix last time we went there, so hopefully a little cooler this time. But yeah, that's always a good one.
You and
cook your eggs on the sidewalk.
You guys have a similar hand. You and
Wierzynski.
You said his name, Wierzynski. Your guys' hand, your guys' hand is like very much the same, and it's weird to say it this way. You don't know it until you close. Like you guys have a very, very similar hand.
And I've actually never gripped up with him.
He likes to be at a hook. He likes to be super tight, and you're an outside.
That's deadly. A big hand with a hook. You're not top rolling shit.
He's also one of those guys. He's also one of those guys that's like, I think you can meet him off cycle sometimes, and you get some like. So I'm just gonna be praying that he's, I don't know, trying to have a kid or something. And
there you go.
And then we'll see what happens. But yeah, when he's at that pinnacle strength, it's it's a
big difference. It's crazy to see that in people. But
Yeah.
Andre Sharkovich, dude, it would be cool to feel him. I don't think I have anything for him, but I do at least want to grip up and feel what that's like because he looks very impressive. Holy cow.
He needs to start wearing his lifting belt again. Made all the difference.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
off me,
Yeah.
not the same.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching his training videos recently. I think he's starting to do programming for people that like want to reach out to him.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
I
cool.
saw that. But
Oh, and I plan
I
on
can't
getting
afford shit, so I just do my own programming.
Yeah, I plan on getting the Taylor program and getting on that because I need.
Yeah, hit me up, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, there are a lot of exercises that Mark still does that he got from Taylor. Mark's performance was great. I mean,
Mark did great.
I was like super impressed with him. His top roll is coming along. His big old leg getting under the table was pretty awesome. Like, yeah, it was great. You guys phenomenal.
I think Mark has a secret hook that's come out a couple times when I pulled him.
Yeah.
And if he can connect that, that can be so deadly because he can wrap all the way around. And he's got this hook where it just goes straight down. Like if he gets that thing, it just goes straight to the pad. And yeah, so I mean, obviously he's built like a top roller, but I think if he ties that hook into his top rolling and switches off, like he's made a lot of really good progress, I think, in the last 6 months or so. So that was cool.
Yep. Big steps for him. And I felt that too. That'd be a good secondary for him for sure.
Yeah.
Saray, what are your big plans after? Let's see, you got your super match, and then what's after that?
Smashing Robbie.
Well, after I beat Robbie, I'm going to be going to Montana in April, and in May I'll be in Arizona. No, where are we going? Florida in May, Arizona in June, Wyoming State July, South Dakota August, Colorado State September, probably back down to Florida in October. So I've got a handful, a tournament a month basically starting now. Those will all be and June actually. So I'm going to wind up with 2. Waiting to hear back, but I'm pretty sure I have a super match with Wallace Dilly, left and right hand in June, at a Nebraska event. So we'll see what date that falls on, but I'll be doing Arizona State and Wallace super match. So
does that mean you have to get a yellow shirt?
What's that?
Does that mean you have to get a yellow shirt
for the Florida tournaments? Yeah. That's all right.
That's cool.
I like yellow.
That's cool.
Yellow's gold.
That's cool. I just
going down there would be a big test, man. They got a lot of great people, man. Yeah. A lot.
I'm looking forward to it. I feel like I'm in the Midwest. I would say I'm top 10 in the Midwest, right? Like where we classify how we look at the Midwest, not how Ohio considers themselves the Midwest. But I would say in the Midwest here, I'm definitely top 10. I mean, I would honestly say I'm probably top 5. So I want to get out and get some East Coast experience. My hook's not too far off from Cody's, which was a shocker. Like we did some good pulling. So yeah, I'm curious to see where I'm going to go. Like this is going to be a busy year, but I really want to make a push for it. So I don't care who's on the roster. I'm pulling everybody and giving them everything I can. I'm gonna leave it on the table. And I definitely give a lot of respect to Cody. And after our little powwow, I'm going to give him even more respect. And it's just going to be with words. I'm not going to respect him with my hand or anything else. So, he knows it too. He flat out said it when in the after pool on the Utah video. He's like, dude, I thought you were going to bleed me out. And then you stood up and you gave it to me. What the hell? And then we broke that whole match down, and it was pretty cool to hear him say that. So I'm like, all right, cool. That was the confidence booster that I needed. And then I've got people like Shane Owens, phenomenal puller. He's a really good dude who's also commenting on those videos like, man, Saray's studying. You can see the boy's gears are turning. He's wanting a piece of the action. So I've got a lot of really good guys who are up and comers that are supporting me. Derek Smith's always shouting me out. So there's a lot of guys that are on the Saray freight train that are, feeding the coal to the fire. So I like.
And for anybody that doesn't know, what's your record against Shane Owens?
I'm undefeated against Shane Owens. 1-0.
Right.
It was left hand. He's known for his right, so I want a piece of that action too. But I mean, I shouldn't say he's known for his right. His left and right are the same. He's like 16-2 on his right, and he's like 15-3 on the left. So I'm one of those.
And I listened to him talk about his arm wrestling, and he says his left and right are pretty similar.
Yeah.
And so are yours. So I think that'd be good, left and right. But you've also leveled up since that even happened. So
Yeah.
but I think that we definitely need to get the team together, dude, and like do some East Coast pulling for sure.
I think so. We talked about that at the practice a couple of times, and it's also up in chat that we do. I mean, we have the van. We got to alternate drivers and pitching on fuel, but we've got the van that can house up to 16 people. I don't know if we can have 16 sausages chilling in that van, but
Nah, we only need like 4 or 5 guys going.
yeah, but if you rent another van or if we fly, whatever we got to do, but
I'd kill myself in Ohio. If we
What's that?
I said I would kill myself in Ohio if we tried to make it to the East Coast in that van.
Yeah. No, we'll fly.
Okay, so let's not go through Ohio.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we stay south.
As long as we avoid Ohio, then I'll be.
Yeah, that's in May. The IFAA is in May. The Nationals.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's the other one in May.
I'm trying to
in
get
Ohio,
there,
or where are they doing it?
They're in Ohio.
Or no, they do it in Illinois, don't they?
They're in Illinois, but we go into Ohio and come down.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's one that's also up there. I don't know.
Why do you have to go into Ohio?
It's cheaper.
Oh, okay.
But it's expensive to fly into anywhere right now.
But you would have to cross through Indiana?
No, so it is in Ohio. Nationals isn't. We'll have to look it up. Yeah, because I didn't even think about that. It was all I know is we were going to fly into Columbus and then drive down. And flying into Columbus was expensive as hell. So you could also fly into Akron, which is a little bit cheaper, and then drive down. So it has to be in Ohio. He's looking it up right now. I can see the reflection. Hey, turn off that stuff you got going on there, buddy.
Yeah, what is that?
What about Chance Shaw, Saray?
I have never gripped up with him. I want to. He's a side pressure monster, and I think it would be interesting. I've seen enough people pull him that I'm curious how I would go against him. I don't think that I could take him, but I definitely want to grip up. We're similar build, similar size. Well, I mean, I'm 100 pounds heavier than he is, but that doesn't.
I don't know. He blows up. He gets pretty big.
Yeah, well, his pretty big is like 305 pounds.
Okay, yeah.
And I still got him by 100 at that point.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
yeah, it's in okay, here we go. IFA US National Championship, 777 Hollywood Boulevard in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, yeah, it's in Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
And this is, I think it might be, because we went to another casino last time. But I don't know if it's the same one.
You went with
me and Grant went.
Yeah, Grant.
Yeah.
Vince, you did pretty damn good there, didn't you? You placed, right?
Yeah, there was some guys there that I think I got fourth. I can't remember exactly what I got, but it was I mean, anyone that goes to that tournament qualifies for Worlds, but I'm never going to go to Worlds unless I legit qualify. Like, I want to place at Nationals. I don't like the idea of going to a national tournament and just because I got a participation trophy.
Yeah.
Nationals. So yeah,
I feel the same.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but it was a fun tournament. Again, there's just some guys up there that are, their frame is meant to be like a 154, but they've put on, an insane amount of muscle, and it's just hard to beat those guys.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, it was a cool tournament. It was in a casino. Grant failed his weight cutting. Fun to watch.
Oh, no.
He was like 7 pounds heavy. We had like 2 hours to weigh in. He just found like a Vasa Fitness close by and sweated it out in a sauna, and he ended up making it. But he had the most miserable.
Wow.
So it was. I got a little "I told you so" in there because I sent him a weight cutting regimen that I was doing, and mine worked perfectly. Like, I wasn't even hungry. I just like hit my weight and I was like, done. He watched this other video and did his, and all of a sudden he stepped on the scale and was 7 pounds heavy, like 2 hours.
Oh no.
And it was like, oh shit. But yeah, he went and he toughed it out and he sweated it out and he got there. So that was good.
Wow. And where did he finish out?
He was a little depleted. I forget how he did. He did pretty good too.
Yeah,
he was in the lower weight class that I was. But Nationals is a different beast. Those guys that show up there, they want to go to Worlds. So there's guys there that are formidable. And Grant's in this weight class, just like we know, where you get monsters in that weight class. The 187, the 176. I mean, there's guys in there that can take open in any tournament they go to, like like Devin Bear, Corey Miller, those guys. So
Grant's definitely climbing that ladder. That dude is strong. His top roll is good, and his hook is even better.
Yeah, that guy he's always pushed me since the beginning of our pulling. It was basically me and Grant starting at the same time with the same guys. We've always traveled to the same groups together, and I mean he's someone that's always been sort of right there, and we always give each other trouble, and it's nice to have that that race to the top with somebody. But yeah, his top roll's come a long way in the last year, because he used to just be a purely hook puller, and so now he's got both in the arsenal. So it's been
He's
cool.
got that round robin coming up.
When's that?
When I think it's in April.
Yeah, first week of April.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the exact date. I think it's before East versus West.
Yeah, I think it's the 4th.
You guys got time? Do you want to run over East versus West, or save that for another?
We can.
I got time.
You'll write them down?
Yeah, I got them.
All right, let me see.
I don't know if I can pronounce their damn names, though.
This gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good. And then I'm gonna butcher their names, and then you're gonna be like, "Who that is?" And I'm gonna be, I don't know.
Don't even worry about it. Just make a guess.
But if you got your computer in front of you, huh, Saray?
Yeah,
you're better at pronouncing those names as well. But if you go to Ingen's page or East versus West, I believe that he recently, within the last week, posted a picture of all of their stuff. Yep, that one. Yep. That one.
Saray can pronounce him because he's like half Russian.
Exactly.
There's no Russian in my blood at all.
You can
no
see
blood.
It. You can see it.
But but you're there. You live there long enough, dude. It just bleeds into you.
Yeah.
Moskala Morovish. I'm the Russian bear. That's me.
Yeah.
All right, so
red.
We'll start at the bottom. There's quite a few matches in here that are pretty interesting. And we'll save I don't know. Well, we'll just start at the bottom right and we'll work our way up to the final, which is obviously Devin and Levon.
Is the profile that has all the matches on Engen's Facebook page?
It's either there or you can just go to coresports.com too.
Oh, okay.
And there'll be the flyer there. So
yeah, I feel like I'm gonna need to look at these faces. I already forgot.
And Marharit is the guy who is the Ukrainian dude who has wins on Levon also, and he's a top roller, but that was again years ago. But the first one is Chikadze versus Marharit. And I'm going to go with Marharit, phenomenal top roller, but he's not a lot of history known on him. Do I got a piece of paper here that I could?
I'm gonna go for the other guy, Chickadee's nuts. Chickadee's nuts out.
And when is this event?
This was
on April 24th.
Yeah, 420, American Stoner Day.
Oh, it is the 20th. Okay.
I'm not finding it on Core Sports.
No.
I just go to East versus West on their Facebook page.
Guys, I'm not good at computer stuff.
Oh, you got two.
I just see in the background. I just see a lot of scrolling going on.
A lot of unsuccessful scrolling going on.
All right, last one. Just go to Ingen's page.
Okay. All right. Ingen Terzi. This is what I should have done at the beginning. Is it just
right?
You just scroll down?
Yeah. So you might just have to send him a screenshot or something.
Here, I'll text this to you.
Technical difficulties.
Hey, why don't you do the screen share? Just pull it up on the screen share. Look at us. We're getting smart now.
This is podcasting right here.
Podcasting 101. Let me find it real quick and then I'll share.
I'd like to thank the $5.99 from Ben Dover. He suggested he's the one that
super
suggested
chat.
it. So good job, man.
Way to go, guy.
Soon will be a Patreon group here.
It's up and going. Go ahead and
Platinum
send
subscriber.
all the $6.99s you want.
Is it East versus West 10?
12.
He's like, shit, I'm looking at the wrong flyer.
Just trying to get somewhere here. Oh, hey, there's the Facebook page, East versus West. 12, but where's the whole lineup? God damn.
Yeah, it's on 420. Come on, come on.
Oh, look at that. I think I found it. East versus West matches. God, they don't make this easy to find, do they?
Mm-mm.
It's not really on the East versus West website. Full card of all the matches.
Yeah, it's what I clicked on, and now it's like these weird hyperlinks.
See, Saray can't find it either.
Okay, this will work. No, it won't. Can we go past?
All right, for real. You're gonna have to edit like the last 10 minutes out.
Yeah.
This is too.
Just clip it all out. Didn't even happen.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm not worried about. People can tune out, or they can tune in. Let's see.
They care about our picks. They're gonna stay.
Vincenzo, Vinny. There we go. There, you have it in text message, which is what we should have just defaulted to begin with.
All right.
Because even the same website that I go to look at the flyer where I got this one from, it's they're a hyperlink and it's scrolling, so it's not the same.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it wants
I got you.
Learn about the history of the puller.
Hey, there it is. All right, we're in business.
See, much faster.
Where are we starting?
Bottom right corner, which is Maharint versus
right.
Gadzi.
After all this, pass. I have no idea who both of these guys are. So.
All right. Go for the cool name. Chickadees.
What did you say? Chickadees nuts?
Chickadees nuts.
All right, Makarov versus Terasitis.
Oh man, dude, that's gonna be a rough one for him.
Dude, Makarov's arm and hand is crazy. I mean,
yeah,
he's got the Oleg genetic deformities type deal.
he does.
But I have seen him get ripped open, but it does seem like he's got a tendon that goes from the tip of his wrist all the way to his bicep. And that's, I don't know. Yeah, you know.
I felt that tendon, dude, this last practice. It locked up on me.
So then you were on top rollable. You were Svetkov. You were Georgi.
I probably was, but it hurt.
And Terasitis, I mean, he's just all top roll. I mean, so it's going to be top roll against top roll. And
we know what his move will be. But
yeah.
I also think Makarov is like a little step above Daniel.
You think Makarov was higher than Prokopchuk, even though he lost?
I do. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So I think Mendagas, it's definitely going to be a harder fight for him than the last match. But we'll have to see how those top rolls kind of meet on each other.
All right. So where are you going with this, Vinny? Makarov versus Terasitis?
I like Makarov.
Okay. And on the first one, you're just skipping, or you don't want to put your name on one?
I'll play the roulette game there, and I will go with. I like the way Chickadee's face is wide. So.
Okay.
He looks like he's got a strong jaw, and I don't know how that translates to the table, but
He's got a manly face.
Yeah,
Jaws seem to translate on the table well.
yeah. Mara
Jaws.
Harent he looks like he's got a thin neck, which doesn't bode well for arm.
Yeah, we know how that goes the rest of the way down. It ain't working.
It continues.
All right, we got Arcona versus Bezyakov. Schoolboy.
Yeah, I think Schoolboy.
I'm
Yeah.
going Schoolboy also.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think that Schoolboy is going to Ryan Constantino Arcona. I think you're going to see him.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I think you're going to see him press.
100%. Well, and then after seeing how Constantino did do with Leonidas pressing him, you know that that's his weakness. And Schoolboy is taller, and I personally think he's stronger than Ryan too. So I think it'll be if that is the lane that he chooses, that'll be an easy win for him.
Gotcha. All right, Georgi versus Svetkov versus Kurdecha.
Oh, this will be a cool match.
Dude, yeah, I got a toss up on this one. Last time Kurdecha did get him. And I'm hoping that this Kurdecha that has a fire lit under his ass is coming back full blast. I'm rooting for him big time. I like Gorgie as well, dude. He's a good guy, but I'm hoping Kurdecha wins.
It's a hard one for me, hard pick for me.
It is hard, dude. Like,
they're two of my.
Seeing how hard Devin had to fight for that, like, you know, yeah, Yorgie's up there, man. But I'm just going with pure fan base and on that one, because I think in a lot of spots Yorgie's stronger than him.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking Kurdecha. I mean, he's pulled him in the past. He knows how to pull him, and I'm thinking hopefully he just whips that back out.
I'm going to stick on my side of Georgi, even though I like Kurdecha just a little bit better. I think Georgi's style is going to be too much for Kurdecha on this one. So we're going Kurdecha, Taylor.
Was that Kurdecha? Yeah.
And then you, Vinny?
Yeah, I'm going Kurdecha. He put on a lot of weight last time we saw him pull, so I think he's going to absolutely
like a monster
massive.
Beats Morozov.
Yeah, and so that was a great match. I think he's going to show up huge, and I think he's going to top roll Georgie.
That was a good match.
Ooh, Sandris versus Sagov.
This one's a hard one, man.
Sagov is nasty.
I think Sagov is like pure strength stronger, but he does only have one move where Sandris can kind of go in multiple spots. So I think it's for Sandris, man, as long as he can win that center of table, I mean, he has endless options. But I think that's going to be a hard test for him, for Sandris. But I'm still going to choose him just because of his arsenal.
You're choosing Cetis?
Yeah.
I like Sagov in this one.
Yeah.
I think Sandris or Cetis opens up when there's someone that's too strong, and so
yeah,
I think that's what's going to happen.
Sagov, dude,
I'm going to go
pure
with
stronger.
Only because Cetis pissed me off.
Yep, I knew you would.
I want him to lose.
I like it
because of his overbearing confidence when I pulled him in Arizona State, which even looking at the video now still shows I didn't lose. Them sons of bitches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want Sargov to avenge me.
That's grounds enough to hate someone, so I'm good.
Rysek versus Nikishieva. I like Rysek. I hope she is making a solid comeback. She was fantastic when she competed with Sarah Bachman. Like back.
Could you do me
yeah.
Maybe say first and last name, because I think I mixed and matched like last names that I wrote down or first names, and
I'm only doing
just realizing
unless it's somebody we know.
But this is like Fia, and
yeah.
Okay.
Better. Yes, Rysek and Nikishieva. So I'm gonna go with Rysek. I like the way she pulls. And she reminds me of everything that Sarah Bachman has is from Rysek. It's from Feda.
We're talking about Fia, right?
Yep.
Okay, and that's my pick as well.
Versus Nikisheva.
Fia, yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea on this one, so
And last time she pulled, she showed that she's there. She's very strong.
All right, what's your Russian roulette then, Vinny?
All right, I'll go with who is let's see. I like Risick.
All right, we're all
Just because it's easier to say. That's the only
Absolutely.
reason he picked her. He didn't know how to pronounce the other
That's
name.
exactly what happened. There was 2 syllables instead of however many is in the other.
Katrina. Oh shit. All
Katarina.
right.
All right, Lilaev or El Cesar. Now this is a comeback match, and this is a hard one. Lilaev, his power is ridiculous, but he hasn't pulled
I
one
was good.
for a decade.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He looks like a shadow of himself.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. If half the Liliev shows up of what he used to be, he will win.
Yeah, half will still beat El Cesar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. But where I haven't seen anything on him, I don't know what's up. But he's never lost to anybody smaller than him either. So I would like to think he still has it. But El Seltzer, man, he's been working very hard. He's huge now too. He's very big. But
I'm gonna go Lilaev on that still.
it'd be cool for him to win his comeback match. That'd be awesome.
I don't
I'm
think
just gonna.
he would step into it unless he would.
Yeah. I feel like Brandon is a guy who's up and coming. And so, like, one of those guys that's on this steep trajectory, you just have no idea what he's going to show up like. Because last couple times we've seen him, there's been some holes in his game, like his wrist isn't as strong as maybe it needs to be.
Yep.
But that's because he's not even that old in the sport. And so I think he's got a mindset that could make him do kind of leaps and jumps as he gets up. So I'm just going to go with him because I think it'd be cool if he came in and all of a sudden he's put together a connection that's different than the last time we saw him, which I think is possible.
Fair point.
And I'm picking him too because he's a fellow American, and I got faith. Hopefully he can do something. I'm just thinking in my head that Liliev, like who was it that John Brzenk just pulled?
Vovoda.
Vovoda. When I mean, everybody was so worried about how strong that guy was going to be when he came back, and even with his preparation that he did for almost a year, he still just wasn't quite there. And Liliev straight up only has like 3 months of prep. So
I mean, it's compelling either way, for sure.
it is.
We got
But
Samusha
that's just-
versus Idarkon.
You got to go with Samusha, man. He's just been on a tear, dude. He doesn't want to let that go.
That's gonna be interesting. I don't know if he can handle
But
Idarkon.
but this is going to be by far his absolute toughest match. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Samusha.
That's going to be rough.
So you're
Because I've heard really, really good things about Nerdalette. Like recently. Like he's there to take that from him. So I think Samusha is gonna lose his belt, man. I do. I think his little reign is over.
What do you think, Vincenzo?
I don't know much about what is it?
Nerdalette.
So I'm gonna go with Samusha, but because I know he's strong, but I don't know much about this man.
I like your logic.
Strong guy wins.
Nice
Monster.
and straightforward.
Winner.
Monster.
Octagon
Already has 7 belts. Done.
yeah. Versus Oniani. I don't know anything about either of these two.
Wait, say the name. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
Octaev.
I've heard that Oniani is the favorite in this one.
And he's got some killer hair. And so yeah, he's got the flow going. And I think that's gonna do it for him.
That's the fro.
We're picking him because he has amazing hair.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
And Octave has some get out of bed in the morning hair that I see on a second.
Yeah, you can tell someone who doesn't do his hair in the morning.
Yeah,
he's clearly not doing his push-ups in the morning either.
This is what matters in arm wrestling, and I'm just telling facts.
It works for me. I'm going against both of you.
He's skipping steps. We don't like people that skip steps.
Dude with Bedhead is smashing Oniani.
He doesn't even give a shit.
Exactly. No fucks given. All right, this is a good one. Zarakishvili versus Petrenko. So
I'm going with Irakli.
Yeah.
Honestly, every time I think Irakli's going to win, he loses. So I'm just gonna go the opposite, and I'm gonna go with
There you
Petrenko.
go.
All right.
I like Petrenko too. He's actually I like him in that weight class. I like him, Irakli, and why do I space his name? He's like Prudnik.
Yeah.
Like as far as European pullers, like those are like the three favorites in that weight class. But I think Irakli, man, he's just on that little bit of a tear right now. He's doing pretty good.
Balls didn't help him though.
Did or didn't?
It did not help him. He was pulling Vitaly Letin, and Letin was just letting him pull him over, so he looks even more ridiculous.
Gotcha.
But I'm still going to Rackley.
Who are you picking? I didn't hear you pick.
Yeah. I think that his top roll and back pressure is way too much for a hook puller.
Okay, yeah.
So that's Todd Hutchins.
No, Michael Todd. What's that?
I said, tell that to Todd Hutchins.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Todd Hutchins isn't your traditional
side
hooker,
pressure.
you know?
Yeah, he's a side pressure monster.
Yeah, it's not
He
even
lets
really
his
a hook.
wrist go and then goes for it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right, we got Lamparelli versus Michael Todd.
Let's go, Michael Todd.
I'm hoping he can pull it off. I mean, Lamparelli,
I think he will.
He is where he's at.
Michael Todd. So if it was the Michael Todd that just pulled Pavlo, Lamparelli is going to kill him.
Yeah.
But that also told him what he needed to work on, and he knows where that little gap is that he needs to strengthen up. And he told himself, he's like, dude, I got 2 months to strengthen that up. And I think that's enough for him. He knows what to do and how to strengthen it. So
you're going Todd?
I'm going to go with Todd as well. His endurance is actually both their endurance is good. Yeah. We've seen that, but I still think that Todd's open top roll, he's going to start with that. He's going to get Lamparelli tired, and then he's going to start going for his press on those ending rounds. Yep. That's going to be rough.
Between someone who has great endurance, but then someone who has a bone lock. So like,
yeah,
he doesn't even need great, endurance because all he has to really do
he's
is
not using anything. You know. The only thing he's wearing out is his pronator. That's it.
And I just like, I miss seeing Todd matches, even though I don't really like him. I just think he's
I'm right there with you, man.
He's a fun guy to watch, and it's always a whole thing. So he's an American. Yep. He's coming back into the scene, and I hope he wins.
I'm curious how Brad Gundy would do against Michael Todd right now.
Grundy would beat him.
Pretty convincing.
Yeah. Right now he would. Yeah.
All right. Gasparini versus Muratov, but this is left-handed.
Can you bet against Muratov right now? That dude is...
He looked insane. But he looked the same as Hermes did against Canaret.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I
agree. This one was a hard one for me when I was thinking about it. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think as well. But I am going towards an Alajon.
Yeah, I mean Muratov. I'm going to go Gasparini, but I'm going to say Silver Bullet.
There you go. Nice.
What do you mean Silver Bullet?
It's going to go to it'll be 4-3.
Okay, yeah. Man, that's a good match. That's a good setup. I like watching Muratov pull. I mean, that dude is explosive, and he's got an extra gear. That is,
dude, he does. And at first, I thought that if he got stopped, I thought that'd be it for him. But he got stopped and then still drove through that. I was like, holy cow, that's disgusting.
It's almost like the stop sets him up for his move.
Yeah.
Like he stops, and then all of a sudden his whole body just folds to the pin. It's like
it explodes.
Yeah. And his connection with his wrist and everything is just it's fun to watch. He's a strong puller. And
I'd like to see Muratov pull Kamil Jablonski.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really good one.
I think he kills
Jablonski.
Kamil. Yeah. I think so.
It'd be interesting. Style wise.
We're talking about Alajon with Kamil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I just think Muratov is one dimensional. He only has the hook. So that's why I think if he can get in there, you're not going to be able to, well, it's future talk, but I just don't think he's going to be able to turn his hand over. Who's going for Muratov? Okay, Vinny.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had it written down. I didn't
You
hear.
keep saying his last name, and I'm like, I got Alajon over here, buddy. I got Alajon.
All right, and the final creme de la creme, piece de resistance, 6-0. Levon retains his title.
Oh God,
I was gonna say I don't think his title goes anywhere.
I don't. Oh man, I hope.
Vince is not quite convinced yet.
Nah, I mean, what Hermes did was cool. I don't think Devin can do what Hermes did, and Hermes didn't win at all. It was just he happened to, get two like
Because he quit.
quit pulls, and so yeah, I think it'll be the same. I agree. I really want it. I really want it to go a different direction. And I think that if Devin's ever got a shot, it's right now.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see. Levon is a fucking mutant, and I don't know if he can. I think it's just a matter of like it usually isn't, but I think it's just a matter of physics at this point.
Yeah.
I think Devin got in his own head, and I don't know how much you guys consume, but like when you watch Devin get into Hermes' head and he breaks Hermes in the diner, there's a moment in a video where Devin is talking and he says, "I don't care about this match. I'm going to drop down and defend my other titles." And when he said that, I said, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's over.
You can see it in Hermes' face too. He kept smiling. And Devin said that and he's like, he just went so serious.
Dude, that's what I'm
like,
saying about Devin now. It's like Devin made the comment. He's like, I don't care about this match. Win or lose, I'm going to go down and defend my other titles. So like that defeatist mentality, which Devin is not known for, he never talks about on that side of things. I was like, all right, bro, like that's free. So
and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I think Saray, you probably watch him a little bit more than I do, but he's not trying to get massive.
No, he's standing he said he'll probably walk in around 275.
Yeah. And I mean,
like 265 right now. So
and I know he has this mindset that it's like it's all about how he feels, and if he feels great, he's going to pull great, and that's true, but not in this. There can be too big of a gap, and I do think there is just too big of a gap. And if 300-pound Devin showing up, maybe he gets a couple stops or whatever. But I mean, I don't think he's willing to push himself that far anymore. And when you get a torn bicep, I don't know how that stuff comes back together, but it's torn bicep, it's pneumonia, it's 274 pounds. It's Levon being in probably the best shape of his life. Somehow that guy's body is still responding well to everything that he's putting it through. So, yeah, I mean, it's
SARMs.
That's crazy. That's all it is.
Well, what's wild about that is you look at the tells for me that make me confident in saying it's 6-0 Levon is the Vitacell when they were all down in Florida.
Oh yeah.
And Levon pulled Devin left-handed. And that is an untrained Levon who can't work out because his right arm was all fucked up, who couldn't work out. And he's just absolutely destroying Devin, who always, any chance he can, he pulls. It doesn't matter. So he's a well-conditioned. The machine is operating how it's supposed to. No injuries. And Levon is straightening him out and does not look like anything like himself that he normally walks around as.
Yeah.
So and people argue like Devin's not a strong left-handed puller, but he beat Yorgi, dude. And that was literally like a month before he just pulled Levon.
Right.
So like he justified himself, then went there and he got his ass kicked.
He came out like when Levon did the same pronation lift. Devin came on and I watched this video about how he's like, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to be the strongest. It's not about that. It's not about
exactly.
That. It's not like anything what he was saying wasn't true or what we didn't know, but it was kind of the tone. It was like defensive, a little worried behind it, not the same mind games Devin, where he's like playing all these different games at the same time. He was backpedaling a little bit, and I don't know. It does seem like he's getting ready to lose.
Yeah, I think the person that'll knock Levon off is probably someone that Devin can already beat, but Devin, just the way he pulls, this just isn't right for Levon, man.
The person that takes Levon's place is Arackley. I've said that
that's years from now.
And I still say that
Did you pick Arackley over the Petrenko guy?
I did.
Okay, good. 'Cause I was like,
Yeah,
you
fair
better,
to
you
say.
better change that if you don't believe so. Oh man.
Yes, I do.
Do you think Irakli's on that path? Do you think he wants to be that?
A
I
100%.
personally don't.
I do. You look at it. Look at Levon 2015.
Yeah.
Identical build.
He
They are.
does kind of look like him when he was
They're
younger.
exactly the same. Same frame, same build out, everything. And they're focusing on the same exercises. And Irakli right now, after Levon pulls for a good 15 minutes, Irakli starts to take him.
Yeah, I have noticed that in their
Like
training.
you understand how that person moves.
Yeah.
It's the same as Taylor and I pulling. I know how to attack Taylor. Taylor knows how to attack me. We're not the same size, and we go back and forth, right? So like I look at it with the physical approach, like, and Irakli himself just doing everything that Levon does. They train together religiously. Everything they do, they're always together. So
I think that Irakli wants to win a world title at the weight he's at now before he tries to move up, because he's been at that weight for a couple of years now.
yep. But he's getting
and
stronger.
And Levon did not stay at that weight. He would compete at whatever weight he was at, but every year that you see him come back, he's just whoop, 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 whoop. You're like, holy shit.
Yep.
So that's the only reason why I'm saying Irakli is not on that same,
Trajectory.
Yeah. I think he's gonna go for his title and maybe have a title match to back it. And then maybe he'll decide to go up to the next weight class. But until he does that, which I still think is a couple years away from.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't think he's
gonna be a while.
it'll be a while. And by then, dude, I think Levon will retire before Irakli can ever get the chance
You
to,
think so?
to take him.
Okay.
100%.
I'm saying
He
by
will.
the time Levon is 41, so he's got 4 years. He's 37 now, 36, 35.
Yo, wheels are going to come off. He is not making it to 41. No way.
I don't think so either. I think picturing Levon pulling at the level that he's at right now in the next 5 years, I don't see it. I think he'll quit.
That's why I say 41. Like it is for like our timeline is reaching the natural place. Like they're falling into
I think he's gonna the wheels are gonna come off at 40. He's gonna get kidney failure, turn yellow, and then he's gonna come back at 55 and just sweep the entire division.
Oh, so he's gonna be Saplenkov.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. After he heals up, he's
gonna come back shredded instead of
and even Saplenkov, I don't see him coming back 100%. Who's he going up against? He's going up against Ermi's left-handed, right?
No, he's going. Who is he? Yo, he is. No, it's right-handed. It's not left-handed, but that's at King of the Table.
King of the Table. How do you think that's going to go?
I think Ermi smashes him.
You think it'll be a smash?
I think Ermi destroys him, 100%. I think that he can get on to because Dennis Saplenkov's issue is speed. Anybody who slow pulls him, he could just activate it all, get his low hand. He could sit there. He does his open top roll. He's real slow. But you look at David DeVete, was smacking him to the pad.
I saw that.
So I don't think that Dennis can handle speed. And I think
you don't think Dennis will try to load?
I don't think it matters. Because Dennis catches everybody outside. That's his move. He's low hand outside top, for his container.
Yeah.
So I don't see him being able to stop Hermes. I think Hermes will smack him, hard over. And the moment that he feels any kind of stop, he's just going to step up and press it.
Yeah.
That's what I see as the lane. I think that's the only way. But I mean, if Dennis keeps gaining weight, like every time he showed up at King of the Table, he's 20 pounds heavier of solid muscle. So then I don't know. Like he looks enormous right now. So
that's the only reason why I'm like questioning, like, where is Dennis now? Because Dennis against hang on. I got my roommate. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
How's it been, man?
Good.
Haven't seen you for a minute. I was getting worried you were still even here.
Oh yeah, very good. But if you take the Devin match against him, and then now you put Hermes up in there, I think he would smack I think you'd beat him way worse than Devin ever did.
You think Hermes is going to beat Dennis worse?
Oh yeah, yeah. If
Oh,
it was that Dennis,
yeah,
but I don't know where Dennis is now.
sure.
Like where is he?
It's interesting. I'm looking forward. I mean, I paid the 170 or whatever, so I get them all. I don't pay the whatever because it keeps climbing. It's creeping up. So I bought
Yeah,
the package for 170, which you get both King of the Table and East versus West.
That's a good deal.
So yeah, like I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna watch it.
I just come to your house.
Yeah, of course. Just like it was last year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting. And even that version of Devin or that version of Dennis versus Devin, it still took Devin a minute each round to pin Dennis. It wasn't fast. He had to slowly keep just applying the pressure until he gave out.
Yeah.
So I just don't see it going the same way. Dennis can't contain Hermes the way that Devin did. He doesn't have that same manipulation. He doesn't have the same, like, he can't articulate his hand. And,
exactly.
Like, it's just,
He's not going to fight a setup or anything. And,
yeah. So,
and Hermes against someone who's not going to fight a setup. I mean, he's not fighting anything either, but on a fair grip, he's way stronger.
yeah. So it'll be interesting, but I see it going Hermes' way 6-0. Now, whether it's fast or not, like, that's for the win to determine, but I think that Hermes takes that.
Have they released any other matches on that card yet?
There's a couple, but I don't know offhand. Like, I think they have Auden Laird on there again too, which I'm not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Against who?
Roz, the 16-year-old Iranian kid.
Oh, he might lose on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's already on Arm Wars too. Like, man, Auden's really getting it. That boy's a professional arm wrestler at 19.
I honestly thought he would win that one.
Yeah.
But look at the two other 19-year-olds that were at King of the Table that last time.
Reno,
and they walk right through him.
Destroy him. So would Bacho. Yeah, it's interesting, man. I'm looking forward to seeing this. East versus West looks good, and the ticket is shaping up to be pretty good for King of the Table. If Auden's on it, it's whatever. Like, it's just watching a younger version of Devin. Like, when it comes to gamemanship, so it doesn't matter to me. But
which everybody wants to see. Like, it's almost a way to go and get like full matches with early Devin. I think that's why a lot of people like to see him. But good for him. I mean, ride the wave as much as he can. But he is going to run into European monsters that have been raised in the sport more than he has.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how seriously they want to match him up to people, because there's thousands of people in Europe that are, a higher level, same age, same weight. So it just depends if they want to give matches that, are good for him, or that, push him to the level that a lot of those European guys are.
For sure. Well, gentlemen, I think that's a good one last thing. One last thing. What would you pass on after this tournament, you guys being the phenomenal, amazing arm wrestlers that you are? What would you pass on to aspiring young arm wrestlers or any guys wanting to jump into the sport?
I was actually talking to a few guys that just walked into that bar, and it proved that one of the things that they're afraid of is to get beat. And I was explaining to them, like, yeah, we're doing that in the tournament, but when we're at a practice, it's like, first and foremost, if you're brand new, we're excited to teach you. And 99% of the time, if it's an experienced arm wrestler with another guy, we're not there to even pin you anyways. Like, we're not there to hurt you or anything like that. So just find a local group and reach out. And if that group is bullying you, find a new group. The ones that are out there to help you out. And I mean, you can find us on Facebook, or there's a couple of other places now you can find us over in Denver, but almost every city now has a group. And if you're even curious about it, definitely just reach out.
Awesome.
Took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to say, find a group. I mean, and don't do it because I think that's a good point. People are like, they're worried about getting beat or they're worried about losing. Like, don't join a group because you want to win. Join a group because you want to do something with your free time, push yourself. get better at something, spend time with other guys that are doing the same thing. And it's a fun thing to do on a weekly basis, and it's a reason to get together. And so, yeah, find a group. They're everywhere now, and have fun with it.
Awesome. Well, it's been my pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you for hosting, or joining. I'm hosting,
You're hosting.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks for being Devil's Backbone Pullers, and looking forward to seeing you guys at the next tournament. Flex out for the screen, baby.
Oh, that still hurts. Fuck.
That hurts. That hurts.
I'm hopefully going to be healed up before Sunday. So I'll see you guys then, or I'll see Saray then, and Taylor will be lifting somewhere in our honor.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. All right, gentlemen.
All right, see you guys
Later.
So